look who's back. What is going on, everyone? Hope you're having a fantastic day. So as you can see, we are back in the Tundra and I'm in a great mood about it. The truck just arrived roughly 10 minutes ago. I just jumped in it, put the camera on. I didn't have to move the truck. The guy pulled it into the driveway. All is bueno. So today we will be testing to see if the new TRD front sway bar is worth the money. So it was installed by Liberty Toyota. So we're gonna take it for a ride, see if it complements the rear sway bar. Like I said, if it's worth changing, skip it. Does it help the truck at all? How does it help the truck in turns? How does it help the truck overall in on-road feel? It's a very windy day here, so I'm hoping this sway bar may keep the truck a little more planted, because you know how it is when you have a little bit of a lift on a truck, sometimes not even a lift at all. A headwind will really pull that truck around. I want to see what this sway bar does for that, if anything. So there's a little bit of a test drive we have to do in a minute. But before we do that, I have the list of the stuff that was done up at Liberty Toyota, and I want to go over that list with you. So the Camry is gone. In closing with the Camry, I love that car a lot. If you have the means, if you have the time, go test drive the Camry XSE V6. That is definitely highly recommended by me. So if you trust me, check it out, form your own opinion. Even if it's only the 4-cylinder, I'm sure it's still fun, but you really got to look for that V6. So on with the video. Before I even do anything with this, I have great news for you. The dent is gone. Well, for some of you. Some of you told me to keep the dent in the door. That I made with my head, hashtag head dent. But I couldn't do it. I'm very OCD about my vehicle. I like it when it's clean. I like it when it's nice. No dents. I'm not a dent guy. I don't like dents. Character dent or not, I'm just one of those people. So it went up to Liberty, they took care of the dent. So real quick, let me take you outside the truck and show you what the truck looks like now. Now you probably won't be able to hear me too good because of the wind. There's a ton of wind right now, and I don't know if you'll be able to see the dent area because the truck is so shiny and nice right now, but this is where the dent was, and I will move around a little bit to show you that there is no more dent. It is completely gone. The dent guy did a great job. So it was right along this line right here, and now the line is flush and clean. They said it popped right out, no issues whatsoever. So we're back to good, so no more head dent, but it'll be in our minds forever. As you can see, we are very much dent-free, and I apologize if you couldn't hear me very well outside because it is super windy. It's not a little windy, it's like gonna be a terrible jog today, but I'm doing it anyway. So what I have here is the list from Liberty Toyota of what we did to the truck. Like I said, it went up there for the dent. It went up there for the windshield wiper to make sure everything was okay with that, which everything looks good. So we're gonna go over the couple things here that they actually did for the truck. And I'll just go down the list and then we could see how much it all costs. So take your bets now. But half of you probably don't even know all the service I did, so I will read it off here. The first thing we did is I had them check the windshield wiper to make sure it was good to go. After we had that little problem with the ice storm last week, the right windshield wiper stopped working, so I had to tighten it back up, but I wanted to make sure we didn't hurt any internals in that process, strip anything, but the wiper is good to go. So they didn't charge me anything for that, so thank you Liberty Toyota for that. They just checked it to make sure everything was good to go, and we are golden. They also washed and waxed the car to make it look fantastic, and yeah, that was $0, and I like that. There are some dealerships out there that when you bring it in for service, they will actually do that for you, and that is just a huge win all the time for me, especially when you live in a place like the Northeast. There's salt all over the roads, no fun. So the truck looks, you know, gorgeous is the only word that comes to mind. The next thing is the dent. Okay, so Liberty outsources to a dent company that comes a couple times a week. So they came in, they saw the dent, and they fixed it. From what I was told, it was a very easy dent to fix. The guy was done in a matter of minutes. So how much do you think it costs? And like I said in my other video, I feel like dent repair is one of those things that's just not policed. And what I mean by that is a guy could come and tell you, hey, this will be $100 or that's going to be $1,000. But there's nothing to compare it against. You wouldn't know. You'd have to go dent guy to find the best deal. Well, this guy right here, whoever did my truck today, gave me the best deal. $90. $90 bucks to fix that dent. That's great. I was ready for like $300-400. So now I know anytime I get a dent, it's going up to Liberty to that dent guy. So dent guy, whose name I don't know, thank you very much. If you watch my videos, I appreciate you, dude. So the other thing they did, as you know, is install the TRD sway bar. But before we get into that and the cost of that, I want you to see what it looks like on each side of the truck. So as we all know from the other videos, it was a little scratched up in shipping. No big deal. As you can see, it looks perfect. It really complements those red TRD front springs, right? Definitely looks good. So for them to put the TRD sway bar in, it cost $140, which was pretty much labor only. So I very much appreciate that. You guys know me. I like to install my own parts, but this winter has not been cooperative at all with installs. The two things I wanted to install, the front TRD sway bar and the headlights, ruined. So we're waiting on summer. We got a couple things coming in. I'm not going to tell you about just yet that we're going to be doing an install on. We still got to install my father's driver's side grab handle. We are suffering because of weather right now, but it's going to start warming up and we should be good to go. It's just like today. The wind is actually going to be a good thing for us today to test the sway bar, but normally this would be a pain to do any kind of video outside. So that's the kind of stuff we deal with. So they took care of the dent, like I said. They took care of the TRD sway bar. They didn't mention anything about the fix I had to do on the ring over in the right side, so we should be good to go. Apparently it was a very easy install. They put the TRD Pro skid plate back on good. Everything is good. It looks good. I inspected everything before I jumped in the car. And then last but not least, they took care of the recall. They went in and they torqued down all the bolts. And it's the, let me see what this says, if it says anything. So they tightened the left side rear seat bolts. And that was the recall. That's all I had for the 2017. As you know, if you have the 2018, you have something that you have to go in for an ECU reflash, because some people's vehicle stability control lights are popping on, and you don't want to mess with that. Some of their Toyota Safety Sense lights are popping on. So definitely get that in for a recall if you are one of the 2018 Tundras. But for us lucky 2017 Tundra owners, it was just a rear seat issue. So in closing with that, that's what we did. We did the TRD sway bar first. We did the dent repair, so no more head dent. I'm very happy about that. That is a relief for me. We took care of the wiper and we did the recall. So it was a trip that was worth it. We got everything done. We're back to good. So now we're gonna start this truck up and we're gonna take it for a ride and we're gonna see if this TRD front sway bar is really worth it before you spend your money. And you know me, I'm very honest with my reviewing. So let's see what we got. It's good to hear this truck again. Like I said, I love the Camry, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing like this Tundra in my life. I don't see myself ever getting rid of this truck. I don't know. I mean, that could change in a year. That could change in a couple days. But for now, is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up all my stuff here and we will get on the road. But one more time, I would like to thank Scott from Liberty Toyota, Jason from Liberty Toyota, Mike from Liberty Toyota, all the gentlemen and ladies that I deal with all the time from Liberty Toyota. Thank you very much for your continued support and being just great people, always helping me out. Guys, check them out if you're in the New Jersey area, Burlington. Hey, if you're not in the Burlington area, I'm sure they'll ship a car anywhere you want. Check them out, libertytoyota.com. Make sure you tell them I sent you. All right, I'll see you in a minute. I just put the car in reverse. We were backing out of my driveway. Now, normally, I will go down the street a little bit and then turn the camera on and we will get cracking. But because this is the first time driving with the TRD front sway bar, I want you to know what it feels like right away if I feel any difference. So far, not really. We'll drive it a little bit. Of course, all I did was pull out of my driveway. Now, I will warn you one thing. This is a disclaimer. There is a very good chance I accidentally say rear sway bar 55 times. But, guys, we're talking about the front sway bar today and how much it complements. Yeah. Okay, there's definitely a difference in feel. You know, nothing insane, but I want to get out on the road and get up to speed before I start making any real calls here. So we're at the stop sign now where I usually give it a little bit of that supercharger whine. See if anybody's coming. It's my lucky day. Let's get a quick stop here at the light. We're going to turn. Oh, you can feel it a little. Yeah. Let's see. Here you go. Gotta love that. It definitely feels like there's a little more weight up front. Now, don't get me wrong. this is a heavy truck. So going from a 17-pound sway bar to a 30-pound sway bar won't really change your overall feel, but the front definitely feels a little different. I just got to drive it a little more. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut the camera off for a couple minutes. I'm going to move it because it's in my face. And yeah, we'll come back on and I'll give you some feelings on this thing, couple impressions. All right, so we're about to go through a series of turns, and this is kind of where I want to see if this thing shines or not. So overall, we will go, we're going to go with a good positive rating right now, but let's see what it does in the turns, and then we will do a quick recap of this ride. So let's see. Okay, definitely a W. Definitely a win. Let's go a little faster into this turn, and we'll see if it holds. Oh yeah, now I really put it in there a lot faster than usual. One more time. All right, cool. Alrighty, so a quick little recap, and obviously we will continue to review this. There's a lot of different driving styles I want to do with it, especially highway driving, things like that. Overall, in a straight line, it makes the truck feel way more rigid up front, if that makes sense. A lot more stiff of a ride. The truck doesn't move around a lot. So the thing that the truck has had before that it doesn't have now, at least on this first ride, in my opinion, is the truck in the front end kind of swims around the road a lot. And what I mean by that is kind of what I was talking about before with the headwind. When you get a headwind on the truck is kind of all over the road, and you're kind of, 10 and 2 on the steering wheel, keeping her in a straight line. It just felt like the truck didn't do that as much now. It felt a little more planted into the road, and it just felt, like I said, very stiff, very rigid. The wind was blowing, like I said, head on, and I wasn't feeling like I had to control the truck more than usual, kind of like I always do. So yeah, normally the truck front end kind of wants to go all over the place, and now it feels like it complements the rear a lot. Now when we got to the turns there, that is where this sway bar will shine for you. Now I sent it in there, a little faster than I usually would send it into a turn, and it felt really good. Now the truck really feels planted. We say that with the rear sway bar, that it helps, really helps with body roll. When you complement that with the front sway bar, the whole truck just stays down into the turn. I didn't feel like I was starting to roll up front like usual, because normally you get in a turn and, as a driver, if you own a Tundra, you will 100% agree. If you get into a sharp turn with speed, you'll start to lean over like this and lean over like this. Now that rear sway bar helps keep the back end of the truck down into the turn. Well, you know what this does? This helps keep the front end down into the turn as well. So instead of when you go into a turn normally where you can stick the nose in a little bit and then you start to feel that body roll wobble in the front midway through the turn, now it just stays flat to the turn the whole time. Definitely helps with cornering. So overall, I'm gonna say this was a good purchase. Mind you, it's like 200 bucks. I mean, you have a truck this expensive, you have a truck this much fun, you put expensive parts on it, TRD parts, and as you can see by the pictures before, the condition that the bar was given to me, with the scratches and, paint missing here and there, it really doesn't matter because you can't even see the bar because of the TRD Pro skid plate. And even if you have the stock skid plate, you still won't be able to see the bar. So overall, I'm not too mad about that anymore. And I'm actually really excited and happy about how good it feels up front. So we said it feels great in the turns. It feels a lot more stiff and rigid up front just on straight roads. And, probably the one more thing I have to say that I kind of said in the beginning is it feels a bit more of a heavy feeling up front. And like I said, we went from 17 pounds to 30 pounds. It can't really be that much, but something in the front end, especially slow like this, something in the front end just feels different. So I'm saying a big, definitely on this one. Check it out. Obviously, you guys know the deal by now. You can go to Sparks Parts, buy the sway bar, use the promo code TundraDude34, save yourself 5% today, tomorrow, the next day. Doesn't just have to be Tundras. all Toyotas, all parts on there. Don't forget they have the Magnuson supercharger, they have headers, they have the BA muffler systems. They don't just have Toyota and TRD parts. So go crazy at my expense, have fun. If you have any questions, obviously comment below. Twitter and Instagram at TundraDude34. Have a good one, guys. I'm in a good mood. One more quick thing to add before I let you go, because I just realized this right now. I backed into my father's driveway. He has a pretty big bump as you're backing in. Now, normally, when I go over that bump, the feeling is kind of one of those, a hard wobble. Didn't do that at all this time. Felt a 110% difference with this sway bar on in the front. So there's another little thing for you. If you have a steep driveway, bueno.